Before There Were Three, Ethan and Rhett. Written by L.A. Witt. Narrated by Charlie David. Chapter 1. Seattle, Washington, Spring, 2000. The clock between the top shelf rows of bourbon and vodka said it was 5 minutes after 9. My watch said 4 after, but quibbling over a minute in either direction was pointless. Jay was supposed to be here at 7:30. No call, no show. Bottom line, whichever timepiece had it right, I was getting stood up. I threw back the last of my screwdriver and pushed the glass away. Well, that was a wasted Friday night. Question was what to do with what was left of it. Get wasted? Or hit up one of the clubs and see if I could find someone to fill Jay's role for the night? That thought nearly made me groan. I was sick of the club scene. That was why I decided to try this whole meeting guys online thing in the first place. Everyone said the internet was crawling with psychos, but so far, my luck had been decent. Connecting with someone, chatting a little, making sure we both knew what we wanted. No commitment beyond, maybe, a morning after cup of coffee, and then meeting up in a public place. If there was chemistry, decent hygiene, and no symptoms of being a serial killer, going to whoever's place was closest and fucking each other into the mattress. Simple. The online thing was a gamble, but it was so much more efficient and to the point than meeting someone in a club. Clubs were all right, but sometimes I wanted a sure thing. Something better than trying to exchange basic information like first names over loud music, hoping the other guy wasn't thinking about soulmates and co-signed leases, and then having a frantic trial run in a men's room or a vehicle before, well, going to whoever's place was closest and fucking each other into the mattress. I was sometimes tempted to tell a guy to just meet me at my apartment, skip all this bullshit, and forget pretending we'd met up for anything we could do in polite company. But meeting people on the web was risky, and I was much more comfortable feeling someone out in person before I took them back to my place. It also helped to make sure there was some actual chemistry, and that there was attraction. If we didn't click enough to make it work, bowing out of a bar was much easier than kicking someone out of my house. But it was all a moot point if the guy didn't even bother to show up. I muttered a few curses to myself. I really needed to get out of here and find something, or someone, else to do. Since the efficient and to-the-point technique hadn't worked out tonight, though, there was always the fallback. Seattle's Capitol Hill had a number of gay clubs. Tedious, but it wasn't like I had anything else going on tonight. It was still early, though, 7 or 8 after 9, depending on which clock I asked, so there was no point in hustling out of here. Most places didn't really wake up until after 10. So I flagged down the bartender and asked for an iced tea, then folded my arms on the bar and gazed down at the dining room. This was one of those bar and grill places with a semi-swanky bar up on a mezzanine overlooking a linen tablecloth restaurant. The food smelled amazing, as always. I'd heard they made a hell of a steak here. Small wonder this was the go-to place for those on the dating scene. Most nights, the clientele was pretty evenly split between straight and gay couples, and tonight was no exception. I had no interest in a relationship right now, especially not when I was packing up and leaving Seattle in a few weeks, but, admittedly, I was a little envious of some of these people. I'd been more or less alone since I'd moved here 2 years ago. Most of the time, I was happy with that as long as I was getting laid on a regular basis. Sometimes, though, I missed being with someone like that. Talking over dinner, maybe sharing a bottle of wine, or kicking back in front of a movie and maybe falling asleep before the credits started rolling. Someday. Maybe. For the rest of my time in Seattle, though, my goal was someone to keep my bed warm at night and be gone before noon, unless the sex was really hot. Then he could stick around long enough for us to fuck a few more times, but definitely gone before noon the next day. Once a one-night stand turned into 2, things could get... Oh, what do we have here? A face in the dining room caught my eye, and my drink almost slipped out of my hand. Whoa, I'd never seen him before, but I sure saw him now, and he was sure easy on the eyes. Built like he knew what a gym was. Neatly cut sandy blonde hair.
Sample complete. Ready to continue?